grow rapidly, propagate, reproduce. Proliferate, grow rapidly, propagate, reproduce. Contempt, state of being despised or dishonored, disgrace, disobedience to or open disrespect of. Corroborate, establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts, support with evidence. Contemptible, worthy of contempt, deserving of scorn or disdain, mean. Assuage, ease or lessen pain, satisfy or appease. Satire, form of literature in which irony and ridicule are used to attack human vice and folly. Stupefy, make senseless or dizzy, be mystery or bewildering to. Equitable, marked by or having equity, just and impartial. Pretext, excuse, something serving to conceal plans, fictitious reason. Mercurial, capricious, liable to sudden unpredictable change, quick and changeable in temperament. Reverend, respectful, worshipful, impressed with veneration or deep respect. Recessive, tending to go backward. Cerebral, relating to the brain or cerebrum, intellectual rather than emotional. Perquisite, any gain above stipulated salary, extra payment. Bombastic, pompous, using inflated language, high-sounding but with little meaning. Nefarious, very wicked, infamous by being extremely wicked. Rescind, cancel, make void, repeal, or annul. Tirade, extended scolding, long angry or violent speech. Divulge, reveal, make known to public. Shroud, hide from view, wrap or burial, shut off from sight, shelter. Languid, lacking energy or vitality, weak, sluggish, lacking spirit or liveliness. Copious, plentiful, containing plenty, affording ample supply. Cursory, casual, brief or broad, not cautious nor detailed. Slight, almost no, very little, deliberate discourtesy. Luxuriant, abundant, rich and splendid, fertile. Erudite, learned, scholarly, with emphasis on knowledge gained from books. Attenuate, make slender, fine, or small, weaken, lessen density of. Renounce, abandon, disown, turn away from, give up. Amenable, responsive to advice or suggestion, responsible to higher authority, willing to comply with, agreeable. Waning, lessening. Scrupulous, exactly and carefully conducted by extreme care and great effort, cautious. Heresy, opinion contrary to popular belief, opinion contrary to accepted religion. Usurp, seize and hold power or rights of another by force or without legal authority. Repertory, place, such as a storehouse, where a stock of things is kept, storage, entire range of skills or aptitudes. Expedient, suitable, appropriate to a purpose, serving to promote your interest. Gargantuan, huge, of a tremendous size, volume, degree. Dupe, easily deceived person, duplicate of photographic image. Vindicate, clear from blame, exonerate, maintain, uphold, or defend. Censorious, critical, addicted to censure, severe in making remarks on others or on their writings or manners, implying or expressing censure. Castigate, criticize severely, punish, revise or make corrections to publication. Anthropology, social science that studies origins and social relationships of human beings. Laud. Give praise to, glorify, celebrate or honor. Exacting. Making severe demands, rigorous, requiring great care, effort, or attention. Peremptory. Offensively self-assured, dictatorial, not allowing contradiction or refusal. Inane. Silly, senseless, unconsciously foolish, void. Churlish. Difficult to work with, rude, unyielding, unmanageable. Genial. Friendly, cordial, having a pleasant or friendly disposition or manner. Excavate. Unearth, dig out, make a hole in, hollow out. Sanguine. Cheerfully confident, optimistic, of healthy reddish color, ruddy. Self-serving. Selfish. Indictment. Formally accused of a crime. Ephemeral. Short-lived, enduring a very short time. Epiphany. Sudden realization. Rapport. Emotional closeness, harmony, relationship of mutual trust or emotional affinity. Amicable. Exhibiting friendliness or goodwill, not quarrelsome. Elude. Avoid cleverly, escape perception of. Obdurate. Hardened in wrongdoing or wickedness, not giving into persuasion. Disquiet. Make uneasy or anxious, trouble. Prevaricator. Liar. Debilitate. Make weak, enfeeble, impair the strength of. Lithe. Flexible, moving and bending with ease. Duplicitous. Deliberately deceptive. Equanimity. Calmness of temperament, steadiness of mind under stress. Spartan. Avoiding luxury and comfort, sternly disciplined. Solicitous. Worried or concerned, full of desire, expressing care or concern. Dispel. Scatter, drive away, cause to vanish. Substantiate. Establish by evidence, make firm or solid, support. Servile. Slavish, suitable to slave or servant, relating to servitude or forced labor. Trepidation. State of alarm or dread, nervous apprehension, involuntary trembling or quivering. Scathing. Harshly critical. Presumptuous. Overconfident, going beyond what is right or proper, excessively forward. Incongruity. Quality of disagreeing, being unsuitable and inappropriate. Wrath. Forceful, often vindictive anger, fury, just punishment of an offense or crime. Dauntless. Bold, incapable of being discouraged, fearless. Aura. Air, feeling. Exemplar. Representative example. Buttress. Support physically, prop up, support something or someone by supplying evidence. Circumscribe. Limit narrowly, confine, draw a line around, encircle. Fraudulent. Cheating, deceitful, planning or using fraud, given to practice of fraud. Dispassionate. Calm, impartial, unaffected by strong emotion or prejudice. Precocious. Advanced in development, appearing or developing early. Aspire. Seek to attain, long for, strive toward an end. Elusive. Difficult to describe, difficult to detect or grasp by mind. Placid. Peaceful, tranquil, calm or quiet. Impasse. Road or passage having no exit. Deadlock. Toady. Person who flatters or defers to others for self-serving reasons. Yes man. Consternation. Intense state of fear or dismay. Astonishment combined with terror. Clandestine. Secret, conducted with or marked by hidden aims or methods. Degradation. Humiliation. Doctrine. Principles presented for belief as by religious. Principle of law, act of teaching. Instruction. Foolhardy. Rash, marked by unthinking boldness. Depose. Forced to leave, removed from office. Indigenous. Native to a region. Allocate. Assign, portion. Nuance. Subtle or slight degree of difference, small difference in meaning. Fallacy. Deceptive or false appearance, false notion, deception. Digress. Stray from the subject at hand. Derogatory. Expressing low opinion, disparaging, belittling. Modicum. Limited quantity, small or moderate amount, any small thing. Rectify. Set right, correct by calculation or adjustment. Eclectic. Composed of elements from a variety of sources. Glutton. Person who eats too much food and drink. Fastidious. Difficult to please, having complicated requirements, excessively particular, demanding about details. Accost. Approach and speak to boldly or aggressively as with demand or request. Flagrant. Obvious and offensive, blatant, scandalous, flaming into notice. Pliable. Flexible, yielding, easily bent or shaped. Ingenuous. Naive and trusting, young, unsophisticated. Lucid. Easily understood, clear, intelligible. Sanctity. Holiness. Paradigm. One that serves as a pattern or model, system of assumptions, concepts, and practices that constitutes a way of viewing reality. Hackneyed. Repeated too often, overfamiliar through overuse. Auspicious. Attended by favorable circumstances, marked by success, prosperous. Squander. Spend wastefully, fail to take advantage of, lose a chance for. Vacuous. Empty, showing lack of thought or intelligence, vacant. Epitome. Representative or perfect example of a class or type, brief summary, as of a book or article. Cosmopolitan. Sophisticated, of worldwide scope. Fanaticism. Excessive zeal, extreme devotion to a belief or cause. Diffident. Shy. Germinate. Cause to sprout or grow, come into existence. Precipitate. Rash, moving rapidly and heedlessly, speeding headlong, occurring suddenly. Trifling. Trivial, of slight worth or importance, frivolous or idle. Embroiled. Throw into confusion, deeply involved especially in something complicated. Peevish. Unpleasant. Enigma. Puzzle, difficult problem. Diffuse. Spread out widely, scatter freely, pour out and cause to spread freely. Stagnate. Not moving. Temporize. Act evasively in order to gain time, avoid argument, or postpone a decision. Sage. One celebrated for wisdom, experience, and judgment. Various plants of the genus Salvia. Assiduous. constant in application or attention, diligent, unceasing or persistent. Inherent, firmly established by nature or habit. Perspective, being within view or consideration as a future event or contingency relating to the future expected. Pedant, one who is overly concerned with formal rules and trivial points of learning. Innocuous, having no adverse effect, harmless. Encumbrance, burden. Lurid, causing shock or horror, gruesome. Effervesce, bubble, fizz. Charlatan, quack, one who pretends to knowledge, skill, or importance. Elicit, draw out, bring forth or to light, generate or provoke as response or answer. August, impressive, majestic, inspiring awe or admiration. Chide, scold mildly so as to correct or improve, express disapproval. Futile, useless, having no useful result, vain. Indulgent, yielding, lenient, forbearing or tolerant. Prodigious, impressively great in size, force or extent, enormous. Instigate, goad or urge forward, provoke, incite. Decimate, destroy or kill a large part of, select by lot and kill one in every 10 of. Indolent, lazy, slow to heal, grow, or develop, inactive. Teem, be abuzz, be full of, move in large numbers. Unfathomable, difficult or impossible to understand, difficult or impossible to measure. Histrionic, characteristic of acting or stage performance. Belligerent, inclined or eager to fight, aggressive. Adept, expert at, very skilled, having or showing knowledge and skill and aptitude. Recalcitrant, obstinately stubborn, determined to resist authority. Staunch, strong and loyal. Mitigate, make less severe or harsh, moderate. Hubris, excessive pride or self-confidence. Impudence, offensively bold behavior, trait of being rude. Idiosyncrasy, behavioral attribute that is distinctive and peculiar to an individual. Noxious, harmful to living things, injurious to health. Dilatory, tending to waste time. Abhor, fill with horror and loathing, horrify, hate. Despot, tyrant, harsh, authoritarian ruler, Eastern Orthodox bishop. Irate, feeling or showing extreme anger, enraged. Insipid, lacking flavor or zest, not tasty, dull. Scintillating, lively, effervescent. Censure, expression of strong disapproval or harsh criticism, blame. Dearth, scarcity, shortage of food, famine from failure or loss of crops. Altruistic, unselfishly generous, concerned for others. Esoteric, hard to understand, known only in a particular group. Ascendancy, superiority or decisive advantage, domination. Penchant, strong inclination, definite liking. Exhort, urge on or encourage, especially by shouts, make urgent appeal. Lull, moment of calm, a period of calm weather, temporary quiet and rest. Conscientious, diligent, responsible, reliable. Blooded, suffering from a disease, destroyed, ruined, or spoiled. Chagrin, anxiety caused by humiliation or injured pride, disappointment. disheartening, discouraging. Chastise, punish as by beating, criticize severely, rebuke. Rouse, become active, excite as to anger or action, stir up, awaken. Confluence, act of two things flowing together, junction or meeting place where two things meet. Deference, willingness to carry out the wishes of others, great respect. Intrepid, fearless, indicating or springing from courage. Prosaic, dull and unimaginative, matter-of-fact, factual. Oracle, answer of God, communications, revelations, or messages delivered by God to the prophets. Officious, marked by excessive eagerness in offering unwanted services or advice to others. Apt, likely, exactly suitable, appropriate, quick to learn or understand. Ostensible, put forth or held out as real, actual, or intended, proper or intended to be shown. Raucous, harsh and rough-sounding, disturbing public peace, loud and rough. Rebuttal, proving to be false or incorrect, response with contrary evidence. Denigrate, blacken, defame, attack reputation of, degrade. Virulent, extremely poisonous, hostile, bitter. Steadfast, firmly or constant, loyal, fixed or unchanging. Satiate, satisfy fully, overeat or eat immodestly, make a pig of oneself. Atrophy, wasting away, decrease in size, reduction in the functionality of an organ caused by disease. Faction, a party of persons having a common end in view. Miserly, indicative of lack of generosity, cautious with money. Malleable, capable of being shaped by pounding, impressionable. Oversight, unintentional omission or mistake, watchful care or management, supervision. Morose, ill-humored, sullen, depressingly dark, gloomy, persistent. Scrutinize, examine closely and critically. Berate, rebuke or scold angrily and at length. Fortuitous, accidental, by chance, coming or occurring without any cause. Pacifist, one opposed to force, anti-militarist. Opportunist, one who takes advantage of any chance to achieve an end with no regard for principles or consequences. Embitter, make worse. Gait, manner of walking or stepping, bearing or carriage while moving, walk, rate of moving. Incredulous, difficult to believe, incredible, skeptical. Burgeon, grow forth, send out buds, grow or develop rapidly. Vocation, career, profession. Saturate, soak, fill, or load to capacity, cause to unite with the greatest possible amount of another substance. Hasten, accelerate, quicken. Virtuoso, highly skilled artist, as musician, one who is dazzlingly skilled in his field. Vapid, dull and unimaginative, lacking taste or flavor. Provincial, relating to a province, limited in outlook, unsophisticated. Sanctimonious, excessively or hypocritically pious, possessing sanctity, sacred, holy, saintly, religious. Deprecate, express disapproval of, protest against, belittle. Debunk, expose at false, exaggerated, worthless, ridicule. Prohibitive, tending to discourage, prohibiting, forbidding. Arcane, secret, mysterious, known only to the initiated. Frugal, sparing, economical, costing little, inexpensive. Judicious, exhibiting good judgment or sound thinking, prudent. Magnanimous, generous, high-minded, chivalrous. Boorish, rude and clumsy in behavior, ungentlemanly, awkward in manners. Proponent, one who argues in support of something, advocate, backer. Incriminate, accuse of a crime or other wrongful act, suggest that someone is guilty. Tout, advertise in strongly positive terms, praise excessively, show off. Ebullient, showing excitement, overflowing with enthusiasm. Melancholy, gloomy, feeling of thoughtful sadness, affected by depression. Divergent, differing, tending to move apart in different directions. Totalitarian, undemocratic, rigid political control. Stark, bare, complete or extreme. Elucidate, make clear or plain, especially by explanation, clarify. Alacrity, cheerful promptness or willingness, eagerness, speed or quickness. Supplant, replace, usurp, displace and substitute for another. Parody, work or performance that imitates another work or performance with ridicule or irony, make fun of. Garish, overbright in color, tastelessly showy. Felicitious, well-suited, happy. Adroit, skillful and adept under pressing conditions. Divisive, creating conflict. Plasticity, ability to be molded, formed, or modeled, quality or state of being plastic. Ascetic, leading a life of self-discipline and self-denial, austere. Jaded, fatigued, dulled by surfeit, exhausted, worn out, worried. Conciliate, compromising, apologizing. Credulity, readiness of belief, disposition to believe on slight evidence. Repudiate, disown, refuse to acknowledge, reject validity or authority of. Insular, of isolated people, especially having a narrow viewpoint. Flummox, confuse. Acrimony, bitter animosity. Abstruse, obscure, profound, difficult to understand. Estrange, alienate. Strident, loud and harsh, insistent, high-pitched, rough-sounding. Wry, turn to one side, twisted, marked by humorous twist, often with a touch of irony. Jovial, good-natured, marked by good cheer, cheerful and good-humored. Perfunctory, done routinely and with little interest or care, acting with indifference, showing little interest or care. Raze, destroy completely, scrape or shave off. Vying, striving. Urbane, showing a high degree of refinement. Inundate, overwhelm, cover with water, especially floodwaters. Innate, possessed at birth, inborn. Bog, marsh, swamp. Hardy, in robust and good health, able to survive under unfavorable conditions. Sporadic, occurring at irregular intervals, having no pattern or order in time. Tenuous, long and thin, slender, having little substance. Benevolent, generous in providing aid to others, charitable. Transient, momentary, temporary, staying for short time. Succulent, full of juicy, full of richness, highly interesting or enjoyable, delectable. plausible, likely but not certain to be or become true or real. Discern, detect, perceive. Pacify, ease anger or agitation of, make calm or quiet, and war or violence. Banal, obvious and dull, commonplace, lacking originality. Callous, emotionally hardened, unfeeling, toughened. Compliant, yielding to request or desire, ready to accommodate, disposed or willing to comply. Cantankerous, ill-humored, irritable, marked by ill-tempered contradiction or opposition, ugly, malicious. Irreverent, disrespectful, showing lack of due respect, not revering God. Procure, bring into possession, cause to accrue to, or to come into possession of, cause to come. Disputatious, argumentative, fond of arguing, inclined to dispute. Bolster, support or prop up with or as if with a long narrow pillow or cushion. Decorum, propriety in manners and conduct, good taste in manners, conventions or requirements of polite behavior. Conflagration, large destructive fire, burning, large-scale military conflict. Antediluvian, antiquated, extremely old and ancient, belonging to very ancient times. Indignant, affected with indignation, wrathful, passionate, irate, feeling wrath by unworthy or unjust treatment. Redolent, fragrant, odorous, suggestive of odor. Byzantine, convoluted, complex. Ramshackle, of very poor quality or condition, loose-jointed, ill-made, out of gear or repair. Grandiose, impressive from inherent grandeur, large and impressive in size, scope or extent. Temperamental, of or pertaining to temperament, excessively sensitive or irritable, moody, likely to perform unpredictably. Avarice, greediness for wealth, insatiable desire of gain. Surfeit, eat until excessively full, be more than full, feed someone to excess. Unabashed, not embarrassed. Acumen, mental keenness, quickness of perception. Precarious, uncertain, risky, dangerously lacking in security or stability. Destitute, extremely poor, utterly lacking, devoid. Fathom, measure the depth, come to understand. Venerable, deserving high respect, impressive by reason of age, profoundly honored. Vindictive, seek revenge or intended for revenge, showing malicious will. Spurn, reject disdainfully or contemptuously, scorn. Indomitable, unconquerable, incapable of being overcome. Coalesce, combine, fuse, grow together, come together so as to form one whole, unite. Circumvent, surround an enemy, enclose or entrap, beat by cleverness and wit. Recluse, one who lives in solitude, withdrawn from the world, reclusive. Discomfited, disappointed, defeated. Compendious, succinct. Facile, done or achieved with little effort or difficulty, ready or fluent. Marred, damaged or disfigured by injury or rough wear. Quixotic, idealistic without regard to practicality. Belie, contradict, give a false impression. Profound, deep, not superficial, far-reaching. Adamant, extremely hard, inflexible, stubbornly unyielding. Patronize, act as a patron to, support or sponsor. Debacle, sudden downfall, complete disaster. Encroaching, intrusive. Disseminate, distribute, spread, scatter like seeds. Pronouncement, formal declaration. Unruly, difficult or impossible to discipline, control, or rule, not according to rule, irregularly. Desecration, violate the sacredness of. Sophistry, argument for exercise merely, plausible but misleading argument, art or process of reasoning, logic. Ineptitude, incompetence. Scope, range of one's perceptions, thoughts, or actions, extent, bound. Automaton, mechanism that imitates actions of humans. Ratify, approve formally, confirm, verify. Amiable, good-natured and likable, lovable, warmly friendly. Scanty, somewhat less than needed in amplitude or extent, insufficient. Forlorn, sad and lonely, wretched, abandoned or left behind. Laconic, brief, effectively cut short, marked by use of few words. Reap, gain, harvest a crop from, get or derive, obtain as a result of effort. Truculent, disposed to fight, belligerent, aggressively hostile. Inhibit, restrain, prevent or forbid, hold back. Nebulous, lacking definite form or limits, hazy, cloudy. Egalitarian, belief in equality. Disillusionment, disenchantment, disappointment. Disparage, belittle, speak of in a slighting or disrespectful way, reduce in esteem or rank. Ubiquitous, being or existing everywhere, omnipresent. Uncouth, lacking refinement or cultivation or taste. Autocrat, dictator, ruler having unlimited power. Culpable, blameworthy. Fortitude, bravery, force, power to attack or to resist attack. Preclude, make impossible as by action taken in advance, prevent, eliminate. Ravenous, extremely hungry, voracious, eager for prey. Lackadaisical, lacking purpose or zest, half-hearted, lacking spirit or liveliness. Palliate, lessen violence of disease, moderate intensity, gloss over with excuses. Tangential, peripheral, only slightly connected, digressing. Antipathy, strong feeling of aversion, dislike. Prolific, producing offspring or fruit in great abundance, fertile. Placate, appease or pacify, bring peace to. Evoke, bring out, arouse, call forth. Ignominy, deep disgrace, shame or dishonor. Recant, retract a previous statement, sing over again, utter repeatedly in song. Maudlin, tearfully sentimental, over emotional, sickly sentimental. Ungainly, awkward, lacking grace in movement or posture. Latent, present or potential but not evident or active, dormant, hidden. Fallacious, false, tending to mislead, deceptive. Furtive, marked by quiet and caution and secrecy. Impetuous, marked by sudden and violent force, hasty, impulsive and passionate. Inert, inactive, lacking power to move, unable to move or act. Florid, reddish, elaborately or excessively ornamented. Refutation, arguing that a claim is false. Relegate, assign to obscure place, position, or condition. Delegate, assign. Invoke, call upon, ask for, request earnestly. Circuitous, being or taking a roundabout, lengthy course, going round in a circuit, not direct. Deleterious, having harmful effect, injurious, having quality of destroying life, noxious, poisonous. Vanquish, conquer, overcome, come out better in a competition. Reprehensible, deserving blame, admonition, blameworthy. Distaste, dislike, aversion. Partisan, one-sided, prejudiced, committed to a party. Irony, expression by deliberate contrast between apparent and intended meaning, witty language used to insult. Cacophonous, discordant, inharmonious, sounding harshly, ill-sounding. Bequeath, leave to someone by a will, hand down. Shrew, astute, smart. Mercenary, interested in making money, profit-oriented, hired for service in foreign army. Apathetic, feeling or showing a lack of interest or concern, indifferent. Elated, overjoyed, extremely happy and excited. Lucrative, profitable, producing good profit. Sycophant, one who attempts to win favor by flattering influential people. Bootlicker, yes man. Treatise, systematic, usually extensive written discourse on a subject. Bipartisanship, supported by two opposing parties. Expose, set forth, set out to public view. Equivocal, open to two or more interpretations and often intended to mislead. Deterrent, something that discourages, tending to deter. Tenacious, sticking together, stubbornly unyielding, holding together firmly. Idyllic, excellent and delightful in all respects. Torpor, state of mental or physical inactivity or insensibility, sluggishness, dormancy. Inscrutable, impenetrable, not readily understood, mysterious. Sanction, give authorization or approval to something, penalize a state, especially for violating international law. Wayward, selfish, stubborn. Depravity, extreme corruption or degradation, wickedness. Punctilious, meticulous, attentive to detail. Peripheral, located in outer boundary, unimportant, auxiliary. Supercilious, arrogant, feeling or showing haughty disdain, overbearing. Exhibitionist, deliberately behaving a certain way to attract attention. Flippant, lacking proper seriousness, speaking freely, talkative, communicative. Buoyant, able to float, cheerful and optimistic. Penurious, cheap, stingy. Relinquish, give up something with reluctance, retire from, give up or abandon. Enumerate, list each one, mention one by one. Depreciation, devaluation, decrease in price or value. Propensity, natural inclination, tendency or preference, predilection. Viscous, sticky, gluey, having high resistance to flow. Affected, speaking or behaving in artificial way, emotionally stirred or moved, infected or attacked. Serendipity, gift for finding valuable or desirable things by accident, accidental good fortune or luck. Aberration, deviation, not normal. Deride, ridicule, make fun of, laugh at with contempt. Dormant, sleeping, not active but capable of becoming active. Motley, multicolored, mixed, having elements of great variety. Trite, repeated too often, overfamiliar through overuse, worn out by use. Prattle, speak about unimportant matters rapidly and incessantly, talk artlessly and childishly. Piety, religious devotion and reverence to God, devout act, thought, or statement, godliness. Finesse, refinement and delicacy of performance, skillful, subtle handling. Extricate, free, as from difficulties or perplexities caused to be emitted or evolved. Derivative, unoriginal, derived from another source. Parch, burn surface of roast over fire as dry grain, dry to extremity. Multifarious, varied, greatly diversified, made up of many differing parts. Cajole, influence or urge by gentle urging or flattering. Verbose, wordy, using or containing a great and usually an excessive number of words. Folly, foolishness, lack of good sense, understanding, or foresight. Capricious, fickle, impulsive and unpredictable, apt to change opinions suddenly. Venal, capable of being bribed, for sale, available for a price, corrupt. Self-righteous, smug, holier than thou. Paucity, scarcity, smallness of number, fewness. Congenial, compatible. Neophyte, recent convert to a belief, one newly initiated. Insolence, scornful treatment, insulting speech or conduct. Obstinate, stubbornly adhering to an attitude or opinion, hard to control or treat. Indeterminate, uncertain, not clearly fixed, indefinite. Efface, rub or wipe out, make indistinct as if by rubbing. Indiscriminate, choosing at random, not marked by fine distinctions. Onerous, burdensome or oppressive, not easily borne, wearing. Polemical, aggressive in verbal attack, disputatious. Ineffable, unutterable, cannot be expressed in speech. Diminutive, below the average size, very small, little. Regressive, tending to return or revert. Rancor, bitter, long-lasting resentment, deep-seated ill will, hatred. Notoriety, known for some unfavorable act or quality, bad or ill fame. Susceptible, easily influenced, having little resistance as to a disease, receptive to. Quell, extinguish, put down forcibly, suppress, pacify or quiet. Barrage, artificial obstruction, heavy curtain of artillery fire, rapid, concentrated discharge of missiles. Simile, comparison of one thing with another, in English generally using like or as. Contentious, quarrelsome, disagreeable, marked by heated arguments or controversy. somber, gloomy, depressing or grave, dull or dark in color, slipshod, untidy or slovenly, shabby, great carelessness, done poorly or too quickly, uncanny, strange, mysterious, peculiarly unsettling, as if of supernatural origin or nature, illicit, illegal, unlawful, not authorized or permitted, devoid, completely lacking, barren or empty, superfluous, being beyond what is required or sufficient, gallant, courtly, lively and spirited, having or displaying great dignity or nobility, reticent, inclined to keep silent, reserved, uncommunicative, demonstrative, openly emotional, assail, assault, attack with or as if with violent blows, convivial, festive, occupied with or fond of the pleasures of good company, dire, urgent, dreadful, complacency, feeling of contented self-satisfaction, especially when unaware of upcoming trouble, encompass, surround, form a circle or ring around, enclose, envelop, subversive, tending to overthrow, in opposition to civil authority or government, philanthropist, person who loves mankind in general, very generous person or institution, disingenuous, giving a false appearance of frankness, not straightforward or candid, insincere or calculating, furor, great excitement, public disorder or uproar, induce, persuade, bring about, reason or establish by induction, reproach, express disapproval or disappointment, bring shame upon, disgrace, pundit, authority on a subject, learned person, expert, unwitting, not intended, not knowing, unaware, ignorant, orthodox, traditional, conservative in belief, adhering to established faith, especially in religion, reprimand, reprove severely, especially in a formal or official way, rebuke formally, censure severely or angrily, provident, displaying foresight, providing carefully for future, preparing for emergencies, jocular, humorous, amusing or joking, sportive, not serious, tractable, easily managed or controlled, governable, easily handled or worked, docile, discount, give reduction in price on, eulogy, expression of praise, often on the occasion of someone's death, empathetic, compassionate, rhetorical, relating to skill of using language effectively and persuasively, insincere in language, empirical, derived from experiment and observation rather than theory, despondent, in low spirits from loss of hope or courage, solace, comfort or relieve in sorrow, misfortune or distress, stock, certificate for shareholder of corporation, total amount of goods in a shop, innuendo, hint, indirect implication, usually malicious, spurious, false, counterfeit, forged, illogical, subservient, behaving like slave, subordinate in capacity or function, demystify, clarify, free from mystery or obscurity, abate, subside, decrease, become less in amount or intensity, plethora, excess, over fullness in any respect, superabundance, listless, lacking in spirit or energy to exert effort, demure, modest and reserved in manner or behavior, didactic, excessively morally instructive, exorbitant, greatly exceeding bounds of reason or moderation, exceeding proper limits, laggard, slow, sluggish, wasting time, static, having no motion, being at rest, fixed, stationary, incubate, hatch, develop under favorable conditions, imperious, urgent or pressing, able to deal authoritatively, dictatorial, repugnant, arousing disgust or aversion, offensive or repulsive, hateful, petulant, easily irritated or annoyed, unreasonably irritable or ill-tempered, profuse, in great quantity or abundance, bountiful, exceedingly liberal, extol, praise highly, glorify, celebrate, delineate, portray, depict, draw or trace outline of, sketch out, tribulation, suffering, painstaking, extremely careful and diligent work or effort, taking of pains, caustic, capable of burning, corroding, dissolving, or eating away by chemical action, vigilant, attentive to discover and avoid danger or to provide for safety, wakeful, watchful, circumspect, wary, hamper, put at disadvantage, prevent progress or free movement of, concur, agree, rampant, unrestrained and violent, occurring without restraint,